I didn't really know what to expect before jumping into Eastern Exorcist. Many of the ideas that it presents had me interested, but I had my doubts on how they would actually translate to actual gameplay. Although it may have the appeal of an everyday indie game, Eastern Exorcist stands out with some challenging 2D gameplay paired with Souls-like systems. Eastern Exorcist doesn't shy away from setting up the idea that you are an exorcist tasked with laying to rest as many demons as you can. The game's lore is very much tied to Chinese folklore, and the developers do a great job at immersing the players in the premise through frequent cutscenes. Sure, the gameplay has the spotlight, but the story here does enough to give players a sense of place in the universe. The art direction plays a significant role in the presentation, with the use of bold character designs and graphic imagery. The game isn't afraid to show off its darker themes. I mean, you are fighting off demons here, so it's to be expected. The gameplay is a mixed bag that I didn't completely understand at first. It's responsive, but it does take some getting used to. It doesn't help that the game's menus aren't user-friendly at all, and it's tough to understand the skills that you have access to or how to use them effectively. Actions are tied to a stamina meter, which only adds to the game's challenge. Enemies are pretty unforgiving, but it's possible to guard, dodge, and combo groups of them to make it out alive. However, once you kill an enemy, you will need to send them to the afterlife using Dispel. If you don't do this in time, they will revive and become a bit aggro. It sells the idea that you are an exorcist, and once you find the rhythm, it becomes easier to manage along with the other elements going on. One thing I didn't like is how you have to clear each section of the enemies before moving into the next screen. The game's difficulty borrows elements of Souls titles, but here if you die, the enemy who kills you will become stronger, including bosses. Furthermore, each time an enemy is killed, you get points that can be spent to level up or replenish your items. So, forcing the player to clear the screen of all the enemies takes away some of the variation between runs, which means that I'm forced to have a specific amount of points once I get to a shrine. I think it would have been more interesting if I made the choice to just pass enemy encounters and suffer the consequences of my actions later on when I didn't have enough points to level up. The challenge of Eastern Exorcist finds its way into the boss battles, which will test your skills and knowledge of combat. However, I think the developer needs to work on the user experience more and making the systems easier to understand so that the players can get the most out of them. As it stands, Early Access is an excellent choice for Eastern Exorcist since it gives the developers a chance to iron out all these systems. Still, I think the premise of the gameplay systems are pretty awesome. The game just has a well-paced delivery of its content through exploration that makes progression feel exceptionally rewarding. We are definitely looking forward to seeing more of Eastern Exorcist in the future, which is available on Steam Early Access